All right, we here again, and I want to tell y'all, hey, thank you for all the likes, the follows, the comments that y'all have been engaging with. This video, I'm gonna explain to you what you need to be looking for um, when you before hiring your general contractor for this tiny home project. Okay, so the first question you need to be asking yourself, because it just depends on what you want to do. Um, is this a tiny home or is this the ADU? Okay, so that's your question to yourself. Myself, I'm doing an ADU because of the codes and the zoning in my city and what it allows. It does allow tiny houses. However, that would be something that I would have to fight with the city council, which I did not have that much fight in me. So they do allow ADUs. All right. So this will decide if you ask yourself, is it a permanent foundation? Will it be permitted? Um, will it have utilities tied to the main property, or will you have your utilities individually separated away from the primary house that you have? Now, you may ask yourself, why does this even matter? Why is she bringing this up? Because some contractors build the tiny houses like furniture projects. You know what I mean? Like if you building a sofa or things like that. Okay. Cities that treat ADUs like real homes, that's what it is. Okay. If your contractor does not understand city inspections and the permits, you need to stop right there. Okay. If, let me say this again, because I've had general contractors, maybe two or three, that I was about to hire, but then they did not understand the city inspections, the permit, the city coding. You need to stop right there. Flag on the play. Because what that is going to create is a whole chaotic situation there, right? And what you don't want to do is put yourself in more headache than what it requires, right? And not only that, if he don't know what he doing and he's never built a tiny home, nor has he ever put in permits for an ADU, then at that point you're gonna be babysitting. You're gonna be holding a hand on top of paying them thousands of dollars. And for me, I don't want to pay you thousands of dollars and I gotta hold your hand, okay? Do I need to check in and make sure that you're doing it correctly? Yeah, I need to do that, but I'm not, no, 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 okay? Now, when you are verifying licensing the adult way, you do not need to take they don't need to be taking screenshots. When you get your contractor, he don't need to be um screenshotting you his license, and or you taking his word, stuff like that. No. I'm telling you right now, anytime you get in a general contractor, I mean, if you get in a contractor, period, let's just be real. You need to see if that contractor is state licensed, okay? You need to make sure the license is active. You hear what I'm saying? Okay? Because a lot of them will say, yeah, I'm licensed, but it's expired. Okay? As simple as me putting up a fence. I had to put up a permit. And the first contractor I had, um, he told me he was licensed. This was years, maybe like 2 years ago. But anyway, because I didn't know what, you know. But anyway, I'm hip to game now. So anyway, he had me put in that permit. I put the permit in. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna go ahead and get everything woo 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 within a week, right? Okay. City came back and said, oh no, boo, you gotta find you a contractor that's state licensed. So now I got to start the process all over again. So I'm trying to save y'all a little headache. That's your number one. If they are not state licensed, you don't want to deal with them, and it needs to be active, okay? Not expired. You need to make sure that they have general liability insurance on their company, all right? Because that's going to cover them if anything happens on the project. You need to see if they are if bonded, if required by the state. Some states require them, some don't, okay? When you ask them, you want to ask them, can I verify your license number with the city and the state? Okay? Now, most contractors, they don't care. They'll give you their license number. And you can go on the website, whatever state you live in, and you can verify with their license number, right? Now, if they get in defensive mode, like, what you need that for? And I don't give my license number to everybody, you got a problem, okay? Because even with me, I'm a licensed adjuster. If I'm dealing with a client, if I'm doing freelance work and somebody wants to verify that I'm a licensed adjuster, property adjuster, or whatever, I'll get them my license number. Ain't nothing you can do with it anyway, but check and make sure that I'm not lying about it. So if they get defensive, don't even argue with them. Move on. Find you another contractor. Just heads up, letting y'all know it takes a while to find the correct or a contractor that you feel comfortable with, right? You want to have one that's reliable. You want to have one that wants to communicate easily, that wants to also walk you through the process, or teaching you. This is the thing, and this is just me. That's an important trait for me for a contractor. I do not like contractors who do not want to share their wisdom, share their opinion. Anybody who is in a profession that they love, that they like, and not just money hungry, they want to educate their clients. And I've been in many professions, right? Property adjuster. I've been a cake decorator for over 20 years. I've been an author. I've done a lot of professions, and every profession that I've ever come in contact with, it was something that I love to do. And when I love to do it, I don't mind sharing the information with my client or my customer, right? Because I want them to feel like they can trust me throughout this process, right? And I'm not money hungry. I do things because I want to, not because, oh, they're going to pay me $5,000 to do this, so I got to hurry up and do this so I can move on to the next client. When you operate out of that space, that's not a good place to be operating out of. I don't know how everybody else do it, but I like to operate at how God wants me to move. That's just not my thing. So if that's not my thing, that's not who I'm going to hire as a contractor. Now, if that's how your thing, that's all about me. You do you. You do you. Okay? All good. But I will say in this video, most important thing is to verify their license number and make sure that their contract license for that particular state, whatever state you in, that is active and not expired. Okay? So that's what I want you to take away from this video. Okay? So this is video 1 for trying to find the right general contractor for your tiny house or your ADU. Okay? Stay tuned for the next video, part 2. Like, share, follow TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Love y'all.